Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Grayson Tate and I just do reviews and I do random other videos, and today is going to be a review you do not want to miss. Okay, so normally I just do normal reviews. I try a product or I review a product I've already had, and I try to be relatively consistent and fair to any of the products that I'm actually reviewing, so that way you know if it's worth it to spend your money. This video is going to be different. This is going to be a part of a new series of why you should buy. These are going to be videos where I still give you a good, well-balanced review, but it's products that I love that I'm going to make you love, because let's get real, you already want to buy it. So the very first video I'm going to do in this series is about the Dyson hairdryer. Yes, the $429 hairdryer. So why the Dyson hairdryer? Well, for one, a lot of people love it. For two, I love it. To give context, I've had a bunch of different hairstyles over time. At one point, I even buzzed my entire head. And I've used so many different hair dryers over the past 10 years, and at least 3 of them have died on me or had some electrical problem, or the ones that didn't die on me just made my hair feel horrible or burn my scalp or fry out my ends. And as somebody whose half of their personality is their hair, it really mattered to me. I was so tired of buying cheap to mid-range hair dryers only for them not to last, or for them to be so cumbersome and loud and hot and heavy to use that I just didn't enjoy the experience. Cut to 5 years ago, I am just like minding my own business. I have all of these credit card rewards that I did not know I had, and the Dyson Supersonic hairdryer was on sale. And I had thought about buying it, but it was one of those purchases where I was like, I'm gonna buy this and I'm going to regret it. And if you are watching this video, you are on the edge, and I'm about to push you over the edge. I'm going to give you excuses to buy this, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how amazing this thing is. I bought it with credit card points. I also bought it on sale around the holidays, and that is a tip. Wait for a little holiday if you can, or use some credit card points, or sell a couple of your things, because having a luxury essential, something that you probably use every day, really is worth it in many more ways than just the way that you use it. Since I bought it 5-6 years ago and I do not regret it, why don't I regret it? Okay, first off is the design. I mean, look at this thing. Mine is 5 years old. It definitely has some wear and tear around the color right there. I don't know if that's going to be the same today, because I think they might have changed the coating. But I mean, it is the smallest, thinnest, lightest hairdryer I've ever used, enough to the point that I've started to travel with it. I love this thing so much. Also, the design is unique for a reason. The Dyson Supersonic dries in 2 different ways. It intakes air from the bottom, goes through a filter, gets heated up, and then comes out of the edge of this ring. And because of that, it creates a suction force that pulls fresh air through the center of the device. And this, I think, is actually a big reason why this hairdryer is so good, because it's mixing hot air with cool air. So in general, your hair is getting different temperatures and it's not getting one consistent burn fry the entire time. And it also multiplies the volume of air that it's moving at once, which I think is also why it dries my hair a lot faster than any other hairdryer I've used. Also, you have these magnetic attachments, and now when you buy the hairdryer, it actually comes with a bunch of new attachments. So I actually have the concentrating nozzle, the smoothing nozzle, and the diffuser. But I will say, I don't have coily hair. I don't really ever use this one. New attachments are the flyaway attachment, the gentle air attachment, the wave and curl diffuser, and the wide tooth comb. And those are the ones that come with the product today. So you're actually getting updated technology if you buy in today. And in case you don't know and haven't watched a million other reviews already, they attach magnetically, which is a huge save, because you're not dealing with trying to fit anything, and you can rotate them any way that you want, which is especially important when I'm using the concentrating nozzle to get a specific angle or to get a specific part of my head. Also, it's just rich. Like, this is just, it looks rich, it feels rich. It's also not like super heavy in the hand, especially if you're drying long hair. And that magnetic attachment is just nice. Like, it's just a good all-around feeling. So why am I making this video? It's because at the end of the day, this hairdryer has performed differently than any other hairdryer I've used. And like I mentioned before, I've used a bunch of cheap and medium range hairdryers. And this last year specifically, I have been traveling a lot, both in my life and for work. And I'm using hairdryers at cheap hotels and at nice hotels and friends' hairdryers. And there is something so unique about the way that the Dyson Supersonic dries hair. The only example I can give is my hair is straight, but I need it to have a lot of volume. So I use a volumizing powder. And when I dry my hair with this hairdryer, it like dries my hair at a deeper level where there is like no moisture. It's not like, oh, it's damp in some areas and then it's burnt in some areas. It's just all around the moisture has left and there's no water left in my hair. So when I put my hair powder in, it works so much better. And this sounds like, oh yeah, it's a hair dryer, it moves with hot air. No other hair dryer I've used does the same thing. So that's why I've actually started to travel with it because it's relatively easy to travel with and I only bring the one attachment that I need. This is enough when I get ready when I'm out of town. It makes enough of a difference that I think that it's worth it to bring it, especially because it's an easy thing to fit in my bag. Also, in case you haven't heard like a normal hair dryer, it is very loud. It'll wake your partner up. It will probably annoy you. And this hair dryer, it is not by any means like super quiet, but it is way quieter than pretty much any other hair dryer I've ever heard. There's something almost soothing about this sound because it's just white noise. It's not like aggressive sound. And I just blew my hair all over the place. Okay, another reason why you need this hair dryer is because it's backed by Dyson, which in case you don't know, is a huge multi-million dollar basically engineering firm that creates consumer products like vacuums and now all of these different hair products. And the reason why I want to bring that up is because I thought that when they came out with this product, they came out with attachments and that was the end of the story. I've just listed all of these new attachments, the main one being the flyaway attachment that is a new innovation and they have figured out and engineered a new way to deal with flyaways. So even though you might have a 5-year-old Dyson Supersonic, they all use the same magnets and attach the same way. So over time, your hairdryer can actually get better or more helpful or smarter because you can use it in different ways that you couldn't when you first bought it. And I think that this will continue. I have no reason to believe that Dyson wouldn't keep making attachments, especially because it's just additional business for them. Now, there's a couple of things that I think are unique about this hairdryer because of the design, the power, and then the features. The first one is you can adjust the fan speed and the heat individually, which is great, but the heat levels are different. Like I mentioned before, it dries my hair better than any other hair dryer, but at least to me, it feels like I am using a significantly less amount of heat to do so. And because of attachments like the styling concentrator, I can point exactly where I want it to go. So most of the time I use the hairdryer on the first fan speed with the second heating speed, and it is more than enough. But if I needed more power or if I had thicker or longer hair, I could easily dial it up and get through the job a lot faster. There's a new version that's a little bit more expensive and it's called the IQ version because there's a couple of smart features because it has a distance and time of flight sensor. So that way it knows if it's close to your hair or further away from your hair and mainly your scalp. Scalp health is a huge indicator and influencer with hair health. And because if you have oily hair and your scalp is dry and you're using a hair dryer, you're only going to make it oilier because your scalp is trying to overcompensate because you just scorched it with your $30 Revlon travel hair dryer. So when you take away just drying hair, how else do I use this? Two ways. I live in Texas. It is so hot. And I love to do this thing where I go on a really hot run and then I take a hot shower and then my body is way too warm for way too long. And something that I actually do quite often is I will take the attachment off, I will turn the fan all the way up and I will turn the heat off. So it's just cool air and I will just fully use this as a personal fan. I will put it down my shirt, I will put it down my pants, I will put it on my head. I'll lay it down on my counter and just let the air blow on me. And it's like one of those ways where I'm like, since I have a luxury product, I'm going to get my money's worth. This makes me happy. I love using it. And so I'm now finding new ways to get more use out of it. The other way is drying makeup. Now that is not particularly interesting. The reason why I bring it up is because you can dry makeup without any heat. And that's super helpful because a lot of hair dryers, you have to use the cool shot button. And if you're trying to cool yourself off or if you're trying to do something quickly, you don't want to accidentally blow a ton of heat at a face with like waxes and creams. So to wrap up, $429 is worth it. This hairdryer is worth it. If you use a hairdryer more than 3 times a week, you will love it. You will tell your friends about it. You will be happy that you own it. Even with the small cosmetic damage over time, I have never had a single issue with this. I have never had a problem with the filter or with it not turning on or with it even shorting out my plug. It just all around is a very high quality product and it makes sense why they are charging so much for it. Now, on the flip side, if you want the best of both worlds, you could actually get the Dyson Airwrap, and the Airwrap is their hair curler and it has an attachment that can semi-function as a hair dryer. It is not the same level of power and flexibility as just a dedicated hair dryer, but it is a little bit of the best of both worlds, especially because you don't want to spend $1,000 on two different hair devices. So that's my review. I hope that you guys like this video and this concept. I really want ideas of what I could do this concept on because I love watching YouTube videos and obsessing over things that I want to buy. So of course I'm going to go and watch somebody talk about it. And I want this series to be the video that pushes you over the edge and gives you the excuse to buy the nice things in life that you want, because life is too short and spending money is pretty fun. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.